Major League Baseball is locked out. For the first time since the 1994-1995 strike, there has been a stoppage in Major League Baseball. Now, what does this mean? Well, we're in a lockout. It's not a strike. It's not a strike at all. A lockout is basically the owners saying, hey, you can't work for us. You can't come to work. We're locked out. A strike is the players saying, we're not going to work for you. We're not there yet. We're not there at all. And hopefully we don't ever get there. We're in a lockout. The point of this lockout is, okay, you know what? Let's just expedite this process. We're going to lock out. Nothing's going to happen. The sole goal here is to get an agreement, a new CBA agreement. So the collective bargaining agreement expired. It expired on November 31st. That's why we're here. The previous agreement expired. The two sides are very far apart. So you know what? We didn't come to a deal in time. And we also know we're far apart, so you know what? We're going to lock out, and our sole goal is going to be coming to a new agreement. And that's where we are. We all knew this was coming. We knew this was coming. The players knew it, the owners knew it, we were so far apart, and we saw it before the COVID season began, when the two sides just couldn't come to an agreement. The writing was on the wall for this to happen. So honestly, a lockout at this point in the offseason is best case scenario and aside from coming to a deal. Look, let's sit down in a room, hash it out. We're going to shut down all activity and we're going to come to a deal. That's what's happening here. Let's talk about why the two sides can't agree. Let's talk about why we are here. Well, from the players' perspective, there's a lot of talking points. There's a lot of things they want to change. One of them being the money, a couple of different money issues, one of them being tanking. There's a couple of issues they want. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the money perspective. Let's talk about this from the money side. So the last agreement came quite a few years ago, since there hasn't been a new agreement in, I believe, 2017. So since 2017, the average Major League Baseball salary has dropped. Contrary to popular belief, contrary to inflation in the world, whatever you want to say about the average salary, well, in Major League Baseball, it's dropped. In 2017, it was $4.1 million. Now, it's probably going to be right about $3.7 million. Now, look, I understand. We're talking about millions of dollars here. Look, I get the whole perspective of what are they complaining for? They're millionaires. Well, are they? Let me say this. There's 1,955 players that have signed a Major League Baseball contract this year. Of those 1,955, only 40 of those earn $20 million or more. 71% of Major League Baseball players make less than $1 million. 71% make less than $1 million. So, first and foremost, when we start talking about baseball players, about Major League Baseball players, let's stop calling them millionaires, because 71% of them aren't. So, why does this matter? Why is this a big deal? We're talking about a lot of money here. Well, let me tell you why the money matters. Tanking is a big part of this, is a big part of baseball these days. Now, not, obvious, they're losing on purpose. It stems from the money. The average salary has dropped, but the top contracts have absolutely ballooned. Let's look at some of the contracts we've talked about already on this show. Max Scherzer, $130 million. Corey Seager, are you kidding me? Corey Seager, over $500 million, or over $300 million. I mean, those top tier contracts have just continued to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But what isn't is those middle tier contracts. We're not getting those. So this is the issue. You have teams that there's no repercussion for losing. Not only is there no repercussion for losing, you're honestly kind of rewarded for it. Oh, wait, you're telling me that I can get rid of my good guys. I can not pay anybody anything. I can pay a bunch of guys big league minimum. And then on top of that, okay, we don't have great guys on the team. We're not going to be very good. And then when we're not very good, we're going to get a good draft pick? Sign me up. That sounds great. Well, that's what we have. We have a few teams that come into the year that legitimately have a chance to win the World Series. I don't know exactly what the number is. It's probably closer to 5. But let's say there's 10 teams that realistically have a chance and believe they can win the World Series. That leaves a bunch of other teams. That leaves 20 teams that are saying, okay, well, we'll give this a shot, but if not, we're gonna, we'll trade away all of our good pieces and then we'll finish out the year with a bunch of guys we don't have to pay anything. We can pay them $600,000 and then get a better draft pick. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing a bunch of teams that not only are not trying to win, they're rewarded for not winning. The owners rake in a bunch of money. They're not paying anybody $100 million. They rake in a bunch of that money. And then they start losing, and then they get a good draft pick, and then you get a great player. So what they want, as in the players want, in this new CBA agreement that hopefully we come to in the coming weeks, would be great, but hopefully prior to spring training, is repercussions for losing. You should be punished for losing year in and year out. Give a team a realistic window to rebuild, but punish them for losing year in and year out, over and over and over. Punish the Pittsburgh Pirates, who have shown they don't want to win. They're just fine. They're just fine. You know what? We have a good player coming up. We drafted a good player because we've been bad for so many years. We get a good draft pick. We get a good player. And look, he's at the big leagues and he's going to be good. Let's trade him away. Because why not? They're raking in the money. They're not paying anybody. And then they get a good draft pick and repeat it. Well, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing that. I want to see bad teams punished. I want to see more teams trying to win. I want to see a more level playing field. And that's what the players want. So that's another talking point in this new CBA agreement. Let's talk about this from the owner's side. What do the owners want? Well, the owners want expanded playoffs. The owners want from 10 to 14 teams in the playoffs. I totally understand it. I get it. What does more playoff games mean? More money. More money. That's great. I absolutely understand that from their side. So if there's more playoff teams, let's say it is expanded to 14 like they want. They get 100% of the TV revenue. That's what they want. That's obviously they want more money in their pocket. Everybody can understand that, and I don't blame them one bit. So in exchange for that, they're willing to give up less regular season games. They've offered less regular season games and they've offered a universal DH. Well, the players are saying, okay, you want more playoffs, but you're only giving us this. That doesn't really line up. We're giving you way more. You're getting 100% of playoff revenue. But I get it from both sides there. I really do. But these are the core issues. The core issues are tanking. The core issues are money. The core issues are players wanting free agency to come earlier, which I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Free agency, it takes 6 years to get to at this point. I don't know if that actually helps the issue of smaller market teams losing their best players. That probably, I don't know if we see that. That would honestly hurt that. What players also want to see, though, is players getting to arbitration earlier. Young players, young studs, getting paid their money earlier. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us.
Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.